going on, everyone? It's your guy, Cole Jackson, back here in the Russell Street Report film room on Two Guys Watching Football. And today we are going to talk about, we're basically going to wrap up, let's call it. We're going to wrap up week one and then the channel start looking forward to week two. But I wanted to do a piece on this because fans have been asking for more under center plays for Lamar Jackson for a long time. And, we saw them. We saw 11 plays from under center on Sunday. And so they ran the ball 7 times for 25 yards, and they threw the ball. They had 4 pass plays, 3 for 3 for 30 yards, 2 first downs. The fourth play was the pass interference that Demarcus Robinson drew. So 4 pass plays, very successful. And so there was some discussion on Twitter about, what is the value and, what does this mean for getting rid of option runs? And so I want to be very clear about this. My support of running under center and specifically running zone run plays from under center isn't to replace the option concepts from the pistol and the shotgun. I think that this can add a layer to the offense, which obviously the Ravens agree with, which is why they're installing it. And I think it could be very beneficial to unlocking bootlegs for Lamar Jackson because it creates easier passing windows for him, creates easier completions to get him in a groove early, which you should be doing for every quarterback. And it also creates that opportunity that defenders are going to have to commit to his time and space there because his legs are that valuable that if you're not going to cover against Lamar Jackson on a bootleg, and I'm talking with your second level, so you're going to get corner stepping up, safety stepping up to make sure that he can't run on bootlegs. That creates passing lanes down the field. And then it also puts your backside defender, and that's what this video focuses on, in a huge bind because he's going to likely be playing inside. And that's kind of the argument I've seen is folks are saying that basically they won't be successful because those backside defenders will just stay home on Lamar Jackson. Don't worry, I go into detail of how I don't think that's true using the plays from Sunday. Because if you do that, you are completely leaving 2 gaps open in the run game so that if it is a zone run from under center to the running back, that backside defender is all the way out there, and that just eats – the running back will just eat on cutback lanes. So it forces those defenders inside, which is what creates the space for Lamar Jackson on the bootleg. So anyway, you guys will see what I mean when I get into it, but I wanted to kind of intro it and just make it very clear. I'm not in favor of replacing. I'm in favor of adding it as a layer. Let's get into the film.
Pass plays here and really show why this is advantageous for the Ravens pass game, specifically Lamar in play action. So to start here, you're going to get Devin Duvernay is going to motion across and line up on this side. Mark Andrews is essentially going to run a deep post as a clear out, and Bateman, who is aligned here in the slot, is going to run underneath and be the outlet. So let's run it back and then we'll break it down. So there's the motion. There's the play action. Bateman goes under. Easy completion. A little bit of yak. Okay, so why is this an advantage? So they're running essentially, you can see it from the offensive line. They're running essentially zone this way as the run fake. So they're going to run zone. And what that does is this defender on the backside has to cut inside. If he stays outside the defender here, if it is a run play, it completely takes him out of the run game. He can't just not. That's kind of the argument, is he's just going to work his way upfield to take away Lamar possibly doing a boot. But if he takes himself completely out and it's a run play, boom, cutback lane, opens 2 gaps there. So that's why he cuts inside. And when he does, you just get Ricard to do a little bit of a seal block, which actually he misses a little bit, so it wasn't as good as it could have been. But nonetheless, with Lamar's legs, he's not going to be fazed by this defender. So as you can see right here, Lamar just has nothing but space. So he can run completely uninterrupted throw. Bateman gets it in space here, gives him this entire sideline to work with to get that yak. So he catches it, and that's about at the line of scrimmage. But he's got all this area to work towards the sideline and gain yardage. He ends up with about 8 yards of yak. So again, that's what it's going to do to that backside defender. So this is going to be a completion to Demarcus Robinson at the top of the screen. Switch this back to purple. Does not look good. There we go. All right, so Demarcus Robinson's basically going to run a 5-yard out up at the top of the screen, and it's going to be essentially the same idea. So you're getting more of like inside zone footwork from the line, and again, what's this backside defender doing? He's going inside. And we get Ricard with the seal. Now, all of this area out on the field here is open for Lamar to run up on. There, it was against cover 3, easy completion, a couple yards of yak. So again, it's creating space for Lamar Jackson on play action. So sometimes what would happen is when Lamar would be in the pistol back here and doing a play action play, these edge defenders are rushing straight at Lamar. So even if it's a boot, they're completely reading Lamar and they're trying to read the handoff. You can't see. Watch where the handoff is. Reading this and the way that they're close here is not as easy to do as reading it in pistol. And that's why it creates that decision from backside defenders. So when people say the backside defender's just going to spy Lamar, well, they're not, because they're going to take themselves completely out of the game, or out of the run play, if it is a run. So it's one of those things that I've seen people say that I don't think has any bearing in reality. So this is going to be the DPI to Demarcus Robinson. It doesn't count towards the passing total, but it's a positive play. This one isn't a bootleg, but it has a similar effect on the defense. So there's the run fake. And this player is completely eating inside. So he's going to eat inside, take himself out. Morgan Moses could have done a little bit better in pass protection right here. See, like he just kind of got beat inside. But again, it creates a very, very clean play because this defender bites on the run fake. And again, it's just, it can be easier to read the pistol mesh point because they're both standing here, your eyes are peeled on it, versus the handoff happening here while he's passing him. Can't see the ball as clearly because Lamar's working this way, the runner's working this way, and the pistol, both Lamar and the running back are facing this way. So there we go. Airs it out. Robinson gets bumped. It looks like they're playing cover 3 again. And incomplete, but as you can see right there, positive play for the Ravens. I think it was 31 yards on the penalty. And then the last one we'll look at, this is an interesting one because this is the play action screen that you guys would have seen in the Tyler Linderbaum video. And so there goes Drake. So this one's interesting because I do wonder how much you get these edge defenders working up the field more when he's under center. So for example, when they're in the pistol and they're working at the mesh point here, these defenders are reading, right? So as they're reading, the whole idea is that that mesh point read is an advantage to the offensive line because they have to take the time to read. So as they're reading and working upfield, they're doing it a little bit slower, they're less aggressive. Watch this defensive end. Watch how fast he gets up the field. See? So he's already up there. Now, when these guys are passing off and getting out in space, that defender's way back at Lamar. That creates easy catch here, takes him out. So there's no chance that the defensive end is going to read the screen, and that can be a bit of advantage. So that's kind of what the point, I guess the point is, well, actually, let's go wrap it up. And then.
All right, so I mean, you can see it right there. That backside defender gets put in a bind. They have to make choices, and that can be advantageous. So I know that the mesh point read is so valuable. Lamar Jackson executes the veer read better than any quarterback I've ever watched. So again, this would be added into the scheme, not replacing it, just to give them more of an advantage. I think it's got some added benefits too. I mean, it creates those easy looks. It gives something different for the defense to look at. And I think it could be really useful to get the offense going early. If they could work their zone run game into this and really unlock that, I mean, sky's the limit. It's what the Tennessee Titans do so well. They use that zone run game with Derrick Henry, and then they run those boots with Brian Tannehill, who's not He doesn't have the legs that Lamar Jackson has. But if they're running successfully, that backside defender has to come downhill on Derrick Henry, especially because of the way he exploits those backside cuts. So if you have J.K. Dobbins, for example, doing that, you get that backside defender going down, you call a naked boot, boom, Lamar Jackson's running with open space the way you see with Tannehill, but he's probably taking it for a lot longer than Ryan Tannehill does. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other.